starting the recording now. That's fine. We're good.
Okay, so today's guest is the mayor of Schertz, Ralph Guitierrez, and he will be sharing what's going on the west end of Guadalupe County and specifically in the Schertz area, letting us know what's going on with housing and different aspects that affect the realtors. And so we're glad to have him today. So Mayor, take it away.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. Growth. Who isn't experiencing growth at this time? Everywhere around San Antonio, we are seeing growth, especially between the corridor between San Antonio and Austin. The growth is just enormous. One thing that I noticed over by Fiesta, Texas, we're seeing value because it's high end. It's a entertainment base. But what we're seeing here in this part of San Antonio is the volume. There's a lot of volume as far as the housing industry. For instance, I have at least 10 subdivisions that are in development or being considered developed. For instance, I have the Rhine Valley, 250 homes still need to be completed. Carmel, 150. Greytown is a new subdivision, 325. Crossvine, 200 houses and also 50 garden homes. Holly Cove, 175 additional units. A new subdivision that just is about to spring up is Saddlebrook, 625 houses. Heritage Oaks, we just passed a PDD with Heritage Oaks of 215 homes. Homestead still has about 400 more, and then we still have the Parkland and the reserves. The price range on most of these houses, you would think they would start at 225. They're actually, house prices are at a minimum 300,000 to at least $600,000. Part of the attraction is the school district, SCUCISD, which is Schertz Cibolo Universal City Independent School District. It is a very, very well-recognized school district, and also security and safety are the main reasons why people choose different neighborhoods. We are in 3 counties, Guadalupe County, Bexar County, and Comal County. And the infrastructure, we do provide our own water in most of our city, SSLGC, which is the Schertz Seguin local corporation, provides the water for our residents. But as you all may know, rooftops are just part of the equation. But without the rooftops, we wouldn't have commercial, we wouldn't have retail, or the manufacturers. We always think that the rooftops provide the ad valorem tax to keep our budget going, but in reality, in Schertz, 57% of the tax revenue comes from businesses. So our residents are basically only paying 43% of the tax of the budget for our city. Our sales tax revenue, 14% actually comes from our sales tax revenue. In all, we are growing, and like I said, who isn't? We see it in Cibolo, Marion, Santa Clara, Seguin, Converse, everywhere around us. The volume is just enormous. The neighborhoods I just mentioned, those are the only ones that I know of in our city, but I'm sure there's several others that just popping out somewhere within our vicinity. As a mayor, like any mayor, we look out for our own city. That is our number one objective. And I will fight tooth and nail for any development or for any manufacturer for our city. But one thing I did notice is once that manufacturer makes a selection, it is entirely up to us to support whatever city it came in, because that manufacturer is going to provide jobs for some of our residents. So like I said, we fight tooth and nail for that manufacturer or that business, But in the end, as a mayor, I think it is important that we support the selection that they made, whether it's our city or somewhere else. I think that is very important. City first and then community second. We are growing. Like I said, we have our population is 42,042. And when I moved here to Schertz, it was just a little over 8,000. So I have seen the growth occur. 3009 basically was a 2-lane road. Now we have 4 lanes with a middle lane. The parkway did not exist. The Schertz Parkway wasn't even in existence. It was just, it did end at a farm. So we are seeing the growth, especially on our southern part of Schertz, which is the Bear County portion. But that's a little bit about our city. If there's any questions I could answer, please let me know.
Mayor, how's the water co-op working out with Seguin, Schertz, and all that for growth?
It's actually, we just did a ribbon cutting for 6 new wells. Water is very important. As we realized during the freeze, it wasn't just electricity, it was the water. If we didn't keep our pumps running in our water, we would have compounded the problem, not only with the electricity, but then the contamination of the water. Once the water gets contaminated, you got to flush it out, and it takes anywhere from 5 to 7 days to flush out the pipes. And so, that is one of the best ideas our previous mayor had contemplated, is the co-op between Seguin and Schertz to bring in that water to our city. And we are reaping the benefits from that because, we have plenty of it. We have plenty of water, and we control our supply, and not relying on the Edwards Aquifer to just restrict us from doing or not supplying the water. When I first got here, I remember seeing a news article. I was actually watching TV, and there was a news article about a woman and her children didn't have water. And I said, wow, they must live in a backward city. And in fact, it was the city of Schertz. It was the other side of Schertz, and they had no water. And that was because we relied on the Edwards Aquifer. And when they provide restrictions, they restrict not only their residents, but our residents, and they actually cut supplies to some of them. So it's crucial. Water is crucial.
It's been a good item for Seguin, of course. It's been really good relationship.
Mayor, you mentioned you have ribbon cutting for how many wells?
6 new wells. 6 new water.
Mayor, I have a couple of questions. So you listed like the subdivisions and the number of rooftops that were there. I don't know off the top of your head if you know this. Do you know what the total number of those rooftops was approximately?
It's approximately about 2,500 to 3,000. Southern Schertz, we didn't see much development. All of a sudden, when we opened up Saddlebrook, Carmel came on. Holly Cove, they started their 4th phase. Crossvine also started their 3rd phase. And all of a sudden, we're getting some commercial interest and some retail interest there too. So when you look at 2,500 to 3,000 new homes, and you're looking at about anywhere between 10 to 15,000 additional residents.
You, and I know you might have to be careful on how you answer this, but can you shed light on any new businesses that are coming to Schertz, or that if you can't be there, on businesses that you're trying to attract to Schertz, and maybe just also maybe touch on like a master plan, whether it's infrastructure or just for the future, what plans you have as far as the growth in Schertz.
Definitely. Well, as you know, the manufacturing area is suited on right there north of 35. It's attractive to a lot of manufacturers. It is zoned as general business. I have a lot of interest of individuals wanting to change the zoning. And I'm very reluctant to changing the zoning because it's not very attractive to see white buildings with no windows along 35. The aesthetics for our city is just not, it just doesn't, it's not conducive for anyone to want to stop. They would just keep going. So no, there has been interest, but I have to be steadfast and say no. Even though it's $100 million new infrastructure or new building, Avalorian taxi, we're looking at about close to $500,000. But it's just not right. It's so easy to say yes because of the tax, but the right thing to do is what's in our best interest as a city. And it's not just taxes, it's also the appearance of our city. So there is a lot of interest, but also I think the price per acreage has gone up. I don't think you can find much, any acreage under $100,000 an acre, especially along the I-35 corridor. I think that is hitting close to 200K just for an acre. It's very attractive. It is. And we're seeing it in New Braunfels. I think the growth in New Braunfels has been enormous, but it's happening.
Mayor, did you say the rezoning desire for that? Are they wanting to rezone to more of a light industrial, a commercial use? What
Yes.
is the push to rezone to?
That is what they intended to do. Rezone it to general business 2, which is light manufacturing. And I actually had to say I couldn't support it. I could not support it. Whether or not they're willing to talk to council one-on-one and ask for their opinion, I welcome that opportunity for them. But as a whole, I wouldn't think it would be in our best interest.
Were there any other specific businesses or types of businesses that you were trying to attract to Schertz? Are you pretty well happy with the assortment that you have?
Well, actually, one thing about New Braunfels, it is a destination. And that's what I wish our city would have is a destination where people actually come because there's something for them to do, something for them to see. Although New Braunfels is just, 8-10 miles down the road, sometimes that's too far for them. Sometimes that's just the right distance because we're right in the middle between them and Fiesta, Texas. Being a destination is very important because it attracts tourism and they bring in new dollars into our city. So that's what I like to do, make our city some type of destination. Also, we need more restaurants. We need more eating establishments in our area.
Okay. Anything you want to share about just sort of the future plans, maybe as far as the infrastructure on roadways or going in and out? I know everybody's trying to deal with that. As population grows and, how do we avoid the traffic jam on 35 and so forth?
Well, as you know, TxDOT has a major project that's going on, over $1 billion in that project where they're double decking I-35 from our city all the way to past SAMC. So that is a huge project. It will bring, I think it's 6 upper deck lanes, 3 each way. And they start and terminate right here on the outskirts of our city. Traffic is just enormous. I mean, when I moved in 1991, you can probably count the cars every hour that pass through I-35. The last count I got is about 300,000 cars per day that hit that I-35. And that's just going to get a little, it's going to increase. And that's why the double decker is needed. But as you know, with construction comes a couple of headaches there, because these projects are not overnight or over the year. We're talking about 4 to 5 years before this is completed.
Okay. Any other questions from anybody on the call?
No, Ken, I think you've asked every question that I had. Mayor, thank you for taking the time to meet with us today.
Well, thank you for the invitation. I hope I answered the several questions. And as you know, the housing realtors, I mean, this is a seller's market. I have 2 houses here, right here in my neighborhood. One of them didn't even hit the market. That's how fast it went. The other one asked for 260,000, and it sold for 282,000. It is just amazing what's happening within our city. The old portion of Schertz, we were talking about cottages that were built in the 1950s are selling for 180,000. It is just it is a seller's market, and I think that's the more housing development that we have here will cure some of those issues.
Yeah, Mayor, you mentioned a seller's market. One of the issues that we're facing as realtors right now is, yeah, it's a seller's market, but if you sell your house, you've got nowhere to go.
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
you talked about the development, the 3,000 new homes coming to the Schertz area. I think that's going to be a major boom for the area.
That's so true. Yeah. And some of my neighbors are saying, I could sell mine and make that much money. I said, yeah, but you're going to pay even more to get another house and smaller.
Yeah. Appreciate you coming on, and thanks so much again, and sharing what's going on in Schertz in the west end of the county. And we're just going to continue on with the rest of the business meeting on our side of things. So anyway, thanks again for visiting with us today.
Well, thank you. Thanks for the invitation. Good.
All right.
All right, gentlemen. You have a good day.
All right,
Take care.
thanks.